Welcome to Girls Give Game, the podcast where I interview female athletes and influencers and they tell us their story. Today I have here with me Jasmine Montgomery. She currently runs track for Reagan High School and later this year will run track for Oregon. Stick around to hear about Jasmine's story and how she became the successful female athlete that she is. And don't forget to subscribe for more. Hi Jasmine, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. A little tired. After this, I was actually eating because after this, I have to go to the track and do a track workout.
Oh,
I'm
that's
just getting
good. You're on a grind.
Yeah. So I'm prepared for that.
Yeah, so again, I thank you for joining me right now. And so I know you run track, but what do you run?
Individually, I run the 100 and 200, and I'm on the 4x1 relay.
Okay. Yeah, I figured I'm starting track, but I don't plan on doing long distance, just short.
Yeah, I'm not. They made me run the 4x4 because 400s really help with your 200, and I personally don't like them at all. But I do them for conditioning sometimes. But every time I ran on a 4x4, like I think a couple weeks ago, it was painful, but it helped me get a little bit better. So they might do a little bit of 400s, but yeah, 100 and 200 definitely my favorites.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. So I know you've been running track for a while now. When did you receive your first major offer?
I received my first major offer my sophomore year after I ran my fastest time at that time was at regionals, which was 11:56.
Wow. What school was it?
I think the first school that called me or said they were interested was Georgia. I think they were the first one. It was either Georgia or Baylor. I think Georgia called first, and then Baylor said they were interested. And I think Oregon was the third one that said they were interested in me.
Oh, well, what was that like for you? I know that's because you've been working for a long time and training all the time. What was that like?
It was really, it was a really great feeling. I felt really, really accomplished, just because I think at the time I didn't really understand how difficult it was to get a track scholarship. So getting one and then kind of slowly learning this is a pretty big deal to get one. I was really excited. Also I had wanted to go to Oregon since I was 12. I didn't even know where Eugene was. So I was oh, I got it. So I was it's a dream come true because you get what you've been working for.
Yeah, that has to be a great feeling. So a lot of athletes have different preferences as far as training. So how often do you train?
I think one of the good things is okay, so when you train, you have to know your body. Obviously because of school, I'm training almost every day, but during quarantine when we weren't going to school at all, I kind of brought upon myself to train as much as possible. I had a little workout schedule, and my summer track coaches helped me with this too. So I wasn't just going out there and just doing whatever. But I think it's always good to train as much as you can. Or I'm gonna say train more than you don't train. If in the week you want to train 5 days, train 5 or 4 out of the 7 days of the week. That type of stuff. So I try to do as much as I can, but at the same time, you also need to know when to rest your body and everything. Because if you have too much work on yourself, you're gonna be tired.
Yeah, that's good because whenever even pro level and college level, you still have to balance all your stuff like school, your body, and knowing whenever you're tired and stuff. So did you play any other sports as a kid?
Yeah, I play. Okay, I think I did gymnastics when I was like really, really young. I
Mm-hmm.
did soccer, but it was like YMCA soccer, so like,
Oh.
kind of like something. So I played volleyball and basketball, and I think volleyball was the thing that like I probably like I'm gonna say played the most because I think almost all girls I feel like play volleyball at least like once or like try it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I tried it because my sister was really good at it, and so I wanted to do it. But I was like decent at it, but like I was like I wasn't super serious about it. It was just something fun to do.
Oh yeah. So what age were you like introduced to track?
um, I think I can't really remember what age,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it was something that like I always kind of like watched because like my sister was the first one to like actually start running track in our family, or like at least in like my family. And so it was like she would do all these things, and she once stayed as a freshman at her division. And so I would watch her, and I guess I started running track around either fifth or sixth grade. I think sixth grade was when they started like letting people at my school at the time like actually play sports. So I'm gonna say like sixth grade is when I started
Oh,
actually competing.
okay. So you started running track in sixth grade. When did you realize that it was the sport that you wanted to take far other than other sports?
Um, I think when I got to when I got to high school,
Mm-hmm.
it started getting like a little more serious because like, when you're in middle school, it was like, okay, trying to figure out like what I wanted to do. And then like from private school, my parents like realized, okay, like, I think if you want to like get a scholarship and stuff like that, I'm not saying like private school isn't good, but I guess this private school that I was going to, the competition, like I was beating everybody like by like a long shot. And so like, okay, like we need to like put you in this school or like put you in this area so you can like actually get competition. And I think my sophomore year when I started like running like the time like the 11s, that
Mm-hmm.
was when I was like, okay, I can really like take this to the next level and like potentially like run in college.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of pressure on athletes, like, oh, they need to start early, they need to start right as soon as they get out of kindergarten, like crazy stuff like that.
Yeah.
Were there any obstacles that you had to overcome in your like younger years?
Yeah, I think one of the main obstacles that I faced was I want to say confidence, but like,
Mm.
not being so hard on myself when I would like not perform like the way I wanted to race. I think at first it was like, I'd be scared to like get really tired, which is why I favored the 100 over the 200 because I was like, I don't want to get to like 120 meters and then I'm like so tired that I get past because
Mm.
I really hate to lose. And so I didn't want to lose. And so I think I was scared of losing. And I was scared of like, okay, if I do lose, then I really get like on myself and I'm like, man, like, I suck, you know?
Yeah, confidence, yeah, it has a lot to do. It interferes with sports, and you just have to be prepared in your mindset and everything like that. So, were there any like specific situations that kind of mess with your confidence the most?
Oh yeah, okay. Um, you know how there's a track and everything, right?
Mm.
And so every single like year they have area like regionals, and then if you qualify, and if you make it past regionals, you go to Junior Olympics. And Junior Olympics is like a really big time thing.
Mm.
But the thing is, like, when you get to JOs, you have to qualify to get to the finals because you get there and then there's semifinals, there's quarterfinals, and then there's the finals.
Mhm.
And every single year, I would lose. I would either get like, I don't think I ever really made it to like the finals and the 100. I think I like got really close, but I never like won. I never won a medal for like anything individual. I have a medal for the relay, but like every single time I'd go, I would lose, and that really like took a hit on my confidence. Made me think like, man, like maybe I'm not good enough because I always lose to these big time meets and stuff like that. But I think, or like I would always lose against people who were like, I'd get nervous because I'm so used to running against people who maybe aren't as fast as me.
Mhm.
I would when I was put with people who were just as fast as me, I'd get nervous and I would like, I don't know, like pop out really fast. Like I wouldn't like do what I normally do. Like I would like kind of almost like forget how to run. Like that's what happened at state my sophomore year. I made it and I was really excited, and people were telling me like, like you have a potential, like you could potentially like win or medal. And I really got in my own head, and I was thinking like, man, I don't want to mess up. So I almost forgot how to run. And I went to state and I got my ass handed to me, and I almost got like seven. I almost got like last. I think I got like either sixth or seventh, but like, those were instances where like and there's a lot more, but like those are like the main instances I could think of where like, I ran into a problem where like, I wasn't super confident. In that case, like, I really like lost the race.
Well, I think it's really important because I know even since then, it's not like you just stopped practicing just because you lost. So, like, keep practicing and everything, and look at you now. I mean, it's kind of a reminder to just not give up at what you like to do. So, what advice would you give young girls struggling with confidence in sports?
I would say, like I said, like don't beat yourself up over the your losses. I think one of the best things you can do is learn from them. Like one of the things that I did, like I would be okay, like what did I do wrong in this race? And I, looked at it and I like studied it, and I was like, okay, so since I did this, instead of doing this, I need to work on this. Also, like, you gotta put in the work, because even if you are like naturally like talented, like you really have to put the work in, because you're not going to really accomplish anything if you don't do that. So I said like definitely put the work in, and just do your best, because your best is all you can really do.
That's good. That's good. I'm gonna keep that in my head. I'm gonna take note of that. So let's talk about being a student athlete. Most of our viewers are student athletes, including me and you. So how important are grades when you want to play sports in college?
They're very important. I mean, if you're failing, you won't be able to play. So it's like, also you don't want to be a dumb athlete. Like, let's say if you make it like you make it big, you're like, you make it to the NBA, you become whatever, like, you want to know how to like actually like do things. You want to pay attention. You want to like use the skills that you learned in school, like in real life, because like, life isn't just your sport. And so you really want to take all the stuff that you learned in college or just in school in general and use it. And like I said, like if you aren't passing, you're not even gonna like, you're not gonna be able to play. And that work that you put into like your schoolwork will show up like in whatever sport you're playing.
I agree. Yeah. So was it ever challenging to balance school, sports, and your social life?
Yeah, it is. I think one of the main things is like there's prom, and every single year prom would land on the day of the state track meet. And I know freshman year I just couldn't go because freshmen can't go, but sophomore, but you can go if like upperclassmen invite you. And so my sophomore year I got invited to go, and I felt all cool because I was a sophomore getting to get with the seniors. But like I couldn't go because it was the day of the state track meet and I qualified. And so today, looking back on it, I would have definitely like, I'm glad that I chose state over prom, because like it's just prom. But like that's just an example of like certain things that you're gonna have to like give up. Like you sometimes you can't go hang out with your friends because you have practice, or you can't go to the party because you're trying to like you got a game tomorrow, so you can't stay up all night. And there's certain things you have to like, and also like schoolwork, like you have projects, and sometimes you miss classes because you're at a track meet or you're at a game. And so those things really do sometimes take a toll on you. But like I think one of the best things is like, if you definitely like to work things out with your teachers, like you talk to them and you're like, hey, like I'm really struggling in your class because I have this and this, like they'll definitely work with you. And so I think with schoolwork, that's one day you can like deal with that. And I think with like social life, you kind of have to balance that too, but you also have to know like if you want to reach a certain goal, you're gonna have to like make sacrifices.
Yeah, I guess, it's important to pick your priorities, what do you put first. So what's something that you would tell younger athletes who don't take schoolwork seriously?
I would say it's really gonna affect you in, just the long run.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're thinking about the short term things. Like, yeah, sometimes I'm lazy and I don't feel like doing the work, but like, they probably won't even like let you on the team if
Mm-hmm.
you're failing because they will look at you as like it doesn't matter how good you are, you won't be reliable.
Mm-hmm.
Some people like to cut corners, but at the same time, when you get there, like when you take the shortcuts, you're, not ready. And so if you don't like put in the work in this turn and like certain things, like as little as like doing your homework, how am I going to expect you to like, hold it down when we're like in a tight game or like when I need somebody to like do this, like you're not responsible. I can't trust you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess that kind of goes along with preparation, just being prepared, whether it's in school or in your sport. How do you prepare physically and mentally for a track meet?
Um, well, definitely physically, it would just be like, going to practice and trying to be consistent with what I do. Um, I think mentally, I think it's like when you get to the track meet, it's always good to set like small goals for yourself.
Mhm.
You don't set like outlandish goals like, okay, like I'm gonna go and I'm gonna run a 9. Like we don't do those type of things. Like you gotta go and you gotta like set small little goals for yourself, which I think when you hit those small goals, you set more goals, which kind of slowly build up your confidence. And mentally, you got to picture yourself winning. You got to picture yourself like you got to be positive. I think one thing that like my dad told me was like that he heard from somebody like, if you're not already like confident when you get on the line to run, like you might as well just not run. If you're not confident in like what you got to do, like, or sometimes you just got to do it scared. And, but you got to really tell yourself like, I can do it. Don't be negative about it. Cause, if you tell yourself you're not going to make the shot, like you're probably not going to do it.
Mm-hmm. Have you ever competed without being prepared? If so, what was the outcome?
Oh, I have. And I'm gonna say like sometimes because I'm just like naturally fast for the most part, like I would just be lucky.
Mm-hmm.
But if let me say I was in a race, like I guess like the example I told you at state, when I was running against people who were just as fast as me, if not faster, and I wasn't prepared, like you're gonna lose. It's easy for you to if you're like even like and if you're not prepared, even some people who aren't supposed to beat you might or not be better than you, like actually might like pass you up and like actually be better than you know so I think it's just like, yeah, there's a lot of instances where like I've been in races or just in life and like I've not been super confident and it's affected me, like, or I've been lucky, but most of the time when it's like in big situations where it actually really matters, like you're gonna like crumble.
Sometimes it's just like thinking too much, like you're
Yeah.
just thinking about the race or your sport too much, and it comes out to be not as nerve-wracking or anything as it seems. Are you ever nervous before you run?
I think there's a difference between being like nervous and like scared.
Mm,
I think, when you really care, you might get the butterflies, but sometimes they're like not like super nervous, but it's like, I'm excited because you care
yeah.
and you want to do really well. I feel like there have been instances where I have been like nervous, like, man, I don't want to know if I can do this. But I'm gonna say like, yeah, I've had those times, but I think I'm slowly like getting over that where like I'm not scared to run anymore. I'm not like nervous. I'm more like, I'm ready to get this. I'm ready to like do my best and get this win.
That's good. So let's talk about college. I know you're going to Oregon soon. Why did you choose Oregon?
I chose Oregon because, well, it's a place I've always been wanting to go to since I was young. Like I said, like I didn't even know where it was, but I always heard like, it's track town. It's the best place to like, track athletes and everything. And like
Mhm.
I always dreamed about going there. And so when they finally like said, we really want you to come to our school, like I was really excited and they have such good facilities. And I feel like the coaches really, really like, have faith in me and trust me and can really help me to get better. Not saying the other coaches like can't help me get better, but I was saying like for other schools, but like, and I feel like specifically like them, like I feel like on my good days and on my bad days, like throughout the summer thing that they've shown me, like I feel like they'd be the best fit for me.
That's good. That has to be a good feeling to go to a college that you've been wanting to go to for a while.
Mm-hmm.
What are your intentions, or like what do you want to achieve when you go to Oregon?
I think I really want to be able to do. That's an interesting question. I was thinking I want to do what I can. Obviously, it's like I want to go and like break records
Mm,
and like really like make a name for myself up there. I think it's one of the things like I really want to do what like God has for me. Like if it's like if I'm supposed to go up there and break all these records and do the thing, like then yeah, that's what I want to do. But I really want to be able to like let's say like if I go to the Olympics or not, I want to be able to walk away and be like from Oregon and be like, you know what, I really like made an impact and I really did what I'm supposed to do. I want to be proud of what I did and I accomplished, whether it be breaking records or just, being a really good teammate.
yeah, that's good that you already know what you want to do instead of just going on there and just running and just not really thinking about it.
Mhm.
I feel like you accomplish a lot more when you have stuff planned out.
Mhm.
Um, if you didn't run track in college, what sport would you take to college?
Um I guess based on the fact that like I've only really ever played like volleyball or basketball, maybe I'd play volleyball. I think maybe if I had to like choose like a different sport in general, maybe I'd try tennis. I don't know. Tennis looks pretty fun.
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, that's same for me. I think tennis is pretty cool. If I picked up a
Mhm.
new sport, it'd probably be tennis.
Mhm.
So who inspired you to be who you are today?
I think just like my family around me. I think like I guess like I said, like my sister was the first one to actually like start running track.
Mm,
And so every time like she would like when she won state and everything, like it was really like, man, that's so cool. I want to do that. And I've always actually kind of been like pretty fast. Like even in middle, like even in like elementary school, the kids wouldn't want me to be it because I'd always get them in tag. And
mm,
so, it's like little things like that. But my sister was really like the person who was like she like walked so I could run and she started the whole
mm.
thing. And then like my parents like constantly like encouraging me, even my brother encouraging me to like consistently get better. And so I think those were the people who like, really helped me to get to where I am.
It's good to have a role model who is like similar to an age, whether it's your sibling, whether it's your peer, like your friend or something. I think that's a lot. It's really motivating because whether you train together or they just teach you like life lessons or anything like that, I think it's good to have a person like that in your life.
Mhm.
So do you have any like specific goals for the future? Just future in general?
Um, I mean, like, I don't know. I think, yeah, I would love to like run professionally. And so I think I'm working towards that. Like I said, like, I just want to be able to like whatever I'm doing, like I'm on the right path, I'm doing what I'm supposed to. So I guess like I could say like I as of right now it's track and I also like want to really get into fashion as well.
Oh,
And so because that's what I'm majoring in college. I'm majoring in fashion design. And so I would say, like, as of right now, I think I'm just working towards the goal of trying to be the best and trying I can be. But, like, I think also just working on myself and getting better as a person, in
that's
whatever
good.
career I get.
That's good. A lot of athletes don't have like a plan B other than sports because it's good to be good at multiple things other
Mhm.
than sports, whether it's piano, I don't know, instruments, anything.
Also,
Because
you're not running forever. You're not playing your sport forever. It's like,
Mhm.
you got to be able to do something, when you are done.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree. That's good. So I know it's getting a scholarship to a certain college or the college that you wanted to. It can make you, some people, not all people, have like a big head and like not be motivated to keep working because you already have this title or whatever. What keeps you motivated to just keep training, keep working?
Um, I think one of the things that keeps me motivated is that especially in track, I learned that like as hard it is to get a track scholarship or like any scholarship in general, it can be taken away just as fast.
Mm,
And so it's like, I know when you sign the contract, like, yeah, like you have the scholarship, but there are certain instances where like, it can be taken away. And plus, like, I think what motivates me is like, you know, I work to get the scholarship. Like, why would I just like stop once I like hit this goal? You know, I think the goal is to consistently get better. And, you know, I really just, I mean, me personally, like, I don't want anyone to beat me, and I want to be the best. And so I think that goal of like me consistently, since I'm like one of the fastest, like in, you know, I guess the region, you know, I know there's a target on my back. And so it's like, I want to continue to be the queen of the track. And so I can't just say like, all right, I'm just not going to practice today. You know, it's whatever. Because there are people who are working just as hard to either take your scholarship or, you know, beat you. And so I think that really motivates me to continue to like get better, or like not just take like 2 months off because I don't feel like training and just being lazy.
That's a good mindset to have. Well, again, this is it. So I want to thank you for joining me, and you're a good like mentor to me, like as far as being an athlete and just being like a female athlete. It's a lot of mentorship and a lot of different standards you have to meet, other than boys sports, because it's more common. Yeah, I just want to thank you again for coming.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.